What comes to mind when you think about endangered or extinct species? You may think about the dinosaurs that died off millions and millions of years ago, or you may think about the dodo birds which lived until the 17th century. However, sadly, there are many, many more organisms that have gone extinct or are endangered. Endangered species aren't just limited to animals either. Plants and other organisms can also be endangered. But what exactly makes these species endangered? There are many reasons why species can be endangered or go extinct. A species could become endangered from the loss of their habitat, be it naturally or with the aid of human interference. With the growing demand for the development of housing and agriculture, more animals are losing their habitats for the expansion of these industries. A species could also become endangered through a lack of genetic variation. Without enough genetic variation, natural selection cannot come into play. When an environmental factor that may cause some of the species to die emerges, others will still be able to survive and pass their genes on to the next generation. However, without the genetic variation, a species becomes more prone to extinction since no one will have any different gene or mutation that allows them to survive and pass on their bloodline in the event of a disaster such as widespread disease or an influx of predators in the environment. So what happens when a species goes extinct or becomes critically endangered? Well, this causes an imbalance in the natural harmony of the environment. For example, if the species is a prey animal like a rabbit, then all the predators that rely on that species for food may end up starving, which can cause them to die. Then as the chain continues, the ecosystem breaks down and worsens. If the species happens to be a predator like wolves, then that means their prey will not have any predators, meaning that there would be an abundance of the prey species. Also not good. Overgrazing can occur and loss of plant life will start happening. If the species going extinct is a plant, this too can harm the natural harmony of the ecosystem, as the ecosystem thrives on plants being a form of food to begin the food chain. Oh no. Now, you may be Google searching if your favorite animal is going extinct, and you've come across one of these three following possibilities. 1. That your following animal is endangered or vulnerable. 2. That your favorite animal is alive and it's thriving, and to that, cheers. Or you searched up your favorite animal and came up with nothing since you suck at Googling and your Wi-Fi is really slow. Other than that, either way, you probably are now wondering how you can help save these endangered species, and we are here to show you these very simple ways. One thing you can do is use reusable and sustainable products. For example, when you go grocery shopping, you can use a reusable bag in place of getting a plastic bag for 5 cents each time. Lucky for you, in the long run, it'll also be cheaper. It's hard to go against something that environmentally is more sustainable and saves you a bit of your money. By reusing your products, you're minimizing the amount of waste generated, as well as minimizing the resources to make the non-sustainable products, which in turn help protect these species from harm to their habitats. Another thing you can do is limit your use of chemical pesticides. Yes, they make your garden look nice, but overall they can be detrimental to the environment. Pesticides can be toxic to many animals living there, as well as native plants as well, which can disrupt the natural food chain in the ecosystem. Many companies tend to create chemical pesticides as they are easier to produce, but it's also possible to use organic pesticides which don't harm the environment as much. They're also just as effective as those chemical pesticides, which makes them swaggier. You can also start reusing and reducing. By reducing and reusing some of your things, you'll produce less waste. A new trend nowadays is thrifting. Thrifting allows for a person to reuse other secondhand things and update that thrifted piece to the style of the buyer. And if you have clothes that don't fit you anymore or any older items that you don't plan on keeping, you can consider donating selling those items or sell them secondhand, for example, on like Poshmark or ThreadUp. However, you may still want to buy your own new things. If you do this, it's important to watch out for any products made from endangered species. As much as buying ivory or turtle shell necklaces, tiger or polar bear fur coats may be nice, indirectly you are contributing to support the poaching of these endangered species, which causes them to become even more endangered. Not good. Now you may have heard of recycling, which allows things like paper, cardboard, and plastic to be reutilized later as a new object. You probably have heard of composting too, which is just as important. By composting things, such as your food scraps, things will become fertilizer and be useful for the environment, and that is good. But something people don't know about environmentalism is that making your houses wildlife friendly by reducing use of water, securing garbage in cans, and putting window decals up so birds don't crash into them is also really important. Finally, it is important to stay educated as well as teach others about environmental problems. Spreading information is beneficial towards saving the environment, and if more people are able to become educated, the impact on our planet could be bigger. And if you feel interested, you can start donating to organizations who help endangered species, such as World Wildlife Fund. By following any of these solutions, you can help the planet and environment for the better, which makes you a swaggier, cooler person. Thanks for watching.